we go. Hey, welcome back. Got another worship conversation for you. Got my good buddy here.
What's up?
So I say Robin Riddick? Do I say Robin L?
Robin L.
Robin L.
Let's keep it on brand.
All right. So go ahead and get on social media and all your streaming. Download, and then stream.
Download.
Can you do both?
Let's just download because I might take it off streaming.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I really have.
I might. Then it's gonna be missing from your Apple Music playlist, and you're gonna be upset.
Yeah. But okay, Robin L. here. We're gonna do another worship conversation. So thank you for coming. I'm so excited. It's gonna be fun. Today's we're gonna do a couple topics, but you said we're gonna start off with reading the room. So wait, real quick, how long you been leading worship?
I started when I was 12.
Oh.
12.
Okay, so you've had lots of experience.
I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb.
Okay,
all of that.
Since you was 12.
Literally, my first time leading worship, I was 12.
Okay.
To tracks.
Oh.
So to all of y'all that this is your first time leading with music, congratulations.
You started with tracks. Oh. Yeah, I remember those days. I remember. First time I sang in church was with track too.
It was a rough time. Those tracks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you only had 3 options for the keys.
Three options for the keys, and if you missed it, it was gone. The music was still moving.
Or if they started the wrong key,
and you had to work it because it was like, well, we're not gonna change it. Because when I was doing tracks, they was still on cassette tapes. They hadn't really switched to the CDs.
Oh yeah, no immediate change. It's just like, look, we can either fast forward or just
listen.
Got you. Okay.
I grew up in the worship leader hard knocks.
Got you. All right, so you've been leading worship since you was 12. So we're talking about reading the room. The room. And I think reading the room has changed so much in the past years. One, just people's expression is not the same as it used to be. I joke with my worship team. I said, you know what it looks like when someone's really excited?
Right.
And this is when they really happy.
Right.
Like you know, so you can't
you never know.
physically see as much as possible because as a culture, our expression comes through our fingers versus. So it kind of makes it kind of a little bit harder to say, hey, are they engaging? Right. Are they singing along? Are they happy? Because they might be, and they just look like droopy.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So and then even more recently, since with all the COVID stuff, a lot more stuff's been online.
Yes.
So I know when we first started, we're leading worship and nobody's in the room.
Right.
So it's like, okay.
That was hard.
Or more so, we pre-recorded stuff. So
that was really hard.
They're not going to see this for like 3 more days. So it's like, God, I need you to you're going to definitely have to orchestrate this.
I need you to put...
because I have no idea what's happening on the other side of that camera.
Nope.
Okay. But yeah, all right, so talk to me about reading the room. Talk to me.
Whew. I mean, it's important to do because honestly, it is a make or break of a worship moment. Like honestly, it's make or break. Like you can just flub the whole thing if you just don't read what's going on right. And then you can flub it if you just read into stuff too much. Because like you said, a lot of people are stoic in their appearance and they're just like, depending on people's like upbringing and their background, everybody's not as expressive. So it's important to take all of that to account. Where you are, who you're singing to. And even before you get up, whether it's a Sunday morning, a midweek, or something like that, literally going into the room and just kind of mingling around and seeing, like, where everybody at? Like, how y'all doing? Hey, like, you greet people. And if you come with that energy, then maybe they'll meet you with some energy. Yeah. It's not always that they'll meet you with energy, but just knowing who you're leading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes a complete, like, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know them, then and they don't know you, like, then you don't even have trust there. So you're gonna get.
What you doing?
Yeah. Hey. I haven't talked to you in 2-3 months. I don't even know you, and you want to lead me somewhere? No. Lead me into the presence of God? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's important. It's an important skill to have. Everybody don't have this skill to read the room.
Okay.
Like, just come off the platform for a second. Like, some people, they laughing at the wrong time. Like, I'm one that will laugh at, like, the most like, it's just wrong. Shouldn't laugh. But, like, it's hard. Everybody doesn't have the skill of reading the room. But if you are and aspire to be a better worship leader, that is a skill that you should work to obtain at all times.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's funny, even like you said, the people who are like stoic in their faces, sometimes those are the people afterwards, they'll be like, oh my God.
Yes.
And worship was just,
yes.
And God was, like, I couldn't tell because of the stone face that you had.
Yes. And I when I like train other worship leaders, I'm like, look, don't even let their faces deter you from doing,
discourage you.
Or discourage you from what is happening. Like, God could be moving on a heart and you won't know. Like, you won't see it.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it's not between, like, that's not the mission there. The mission is not for you to go in and change the heart. And I think that's what we think sometimes, is that our leading is going to change the heart. That's not the point. Like, it's not that our leading is to change anyone. It's our leading is supposed to open up an atmosphere for the presence of God to come to transform the heart. It's His job, not ours.
Yeah.
So, like, don't read too deep into it if somebody is just staring at you. Like,
and I think even with that, a lot of times the worship thinks it's a reflection on them. Like, I didn't do a good job.
Right.
Because
oh my
they
God.
didn't clap
yes.
like I wanted them to. Or they weren't lifting their hands, so maybe I wasn't doing.
Yes.
You know.
When I first started, I was like, oh, nobody said anything. Like, nobody, like, did I do good? Like, I don't know. Did I do all right? And then I just, like, once I was just like, people, you're not always going to get that applause.
Yeah.
Okay? So sometimes it'll be the stoic people coming to you and be like, man, you were really good. And then it'll come, you probably won't get nothing one Sunday. And you'll be like, did I suck?
Yeah.
Like, what? Was worship bad? You just won't know. You just need to, like, make sure that you're being effective and that people are really connecting as best as they can to the atmosphere that is in the room. Like, it's that's the job of the worship leader, is to make all the puzzle pieces kind of fit, and then you let God do the rest. Like,
yeah. All right, so tell me, when you're reading a room, like, are you looking for something? Are you sensing something? Is God speaking to you about stuff? Like, just tell me from your perspective. And I say this because it's not like a one-size-fits-all.
It's
so
not.
The way the Lord uses her or speaks to her may not be exactly what He does for you or what He does in me.
Right.
Different. But I'm just curious, like, what's happening?
Sure. So I am a heavy prophetic worshiper. So it's a leading worship. Here's the basis that I know all of us have to read. We have to, like, know. We gotta know, first of all, know your set, know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Know, have at least a skeleton of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And an outline of kind of where you're going. That's the first thing you need to know. And then after you do that, then you kind of need to then say, okay, God, what are you doing within that? Yeah. read all of that together. And then once you do that, then you start to, like, well, this is what I do.
Okay.
So after I do all that and connect all the set, God, what we doing?
Sounds like private time.
Yeah, private time. Once I have that, then I come into that place, like, when I'm right before I'm going, I'm looking around, I'm gauging the room, just seeing how people are coming in. All the while still prayerful, not like too wandered off from what I'm doing. I'm focusing in on what and who is coming in the room.
Yeah.
And then after I do that, when I'm up leading, it's making sure that my team is not left behind and we're all on the same page and the musicians, and we're not all wandering off.
Gotcha.
I'm reading what's going on with that, making sure everybody's together, because there could be moments where you're so busy engaging and reading what's going on in the room, you have misread that your team is lost.
Yeah.
So it's a making sure that who's with you and standing beside you, behind you, is everybody's all together cohesively, and then making sure that is translating out. That's a lot. Yeah, and that's why I tell people it's cute when everybody want to be a worship leader and lead a song. Mm-hmm. But then when you realize you have to then make sure that who's with you on the platform is together. Yeah. And then what's going on out there, it's like, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
That's a lot. It's not just the song and you and God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that happens a lot too when you're saying that disconnect. Because sometimes when people they're leading worship, they're so caught up in what they're doing.
Yes.
That they forget, hey, there's a team around supporting you or trying to support you or trying to minister alongside with you. And it's just like, oh, this is my moment, me and Jesus.
Yes. And like, and then you start the song, and then like we were talking about, you work this one part of this song over and over and over, and you digging it, and that's your own personal revelation. Yeah. And it's like the congregation's like, we didn't get that. Woo boy. What? Like, it's really touching you. I mean, you are in full tongues. You are up. You are elevated. The team the team was like, wow, she is really being blessed right now. Yeah. By herself. Yeah, and the congregation is like, woo, okay, what's going on? So it's just knowing, like, reading, like, what is touching everyone as a whole. Like, what is really, like, I mean, I love a good drive, but I love a good drive. I love, but it's just knowing, like, okay, the Spirit of God is on this one part, and we need to just declare this one part. We need to keep declaring it and not looking for a response and not looking for people to, like, flip over chairs and stuff, but, like, knowing that, okay, I'm repeating this part for a purpose. Yeah. Not I'm just repeating it because it's really touching me.
I like there's a couple things you said I want to just jump to. You said, I love how you said, you go in, you interact with the people. And just kind of, because sometimes you can walk in and it's like there's a heaviness in the room. Yes. And yes, my first song is supposed to happen, but wait, we need to just stop and pray. Yes. Right. Even if we're in the middle of the song, it's just like, you know what, I'm sensing that there is the X, Y, and Z. I need to stop and pause and do X, Y, and Z and address what's going on in the room. God, how do we navigate the room? Which leads to the second thing, which I hear you saying is you got to be spiritually in tune. Yes, you have to. God, what's going on? What are you doing? Despite of what they look like, or despite of what I see with my natural eyes, God, help me see spiritually what's happening.
You have to, because if you come in the room and this first song is jubilant and like people are, I mean, distraught. Like it's like something's really going on and people it's heavy. Like. You might not start with any song. You might just let the musicians play and just bring it in softer on them. Like let them because here's the thing: if you start with a jubilant song, knowing that the room is heavy, that jubilant song more than likely, and in all my years, probably like 8 times out of 10, doesn't really go anywhere. Because they don't want that. Like, they don't want they need to lament. They need to, they need to have a moment. And it's honestly like we need to help facilitate that because there's worship that can go forth within that moment of sadness or having, like, there's worship that can come forth out of that. And God can still get glory out of that. So it's like, just give up. Set your pride to the side. And just go ahead and sing. like sing something else. Like just lift up a random song. Like lift up worship. It doesn't always have to be read what's going on in the atmosphere. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. I like now I'm gonna make the team start talking to people before.
No, it makes a big difference, and you wouldn't realize how many people. I've been in places where the congregation wasn't necessarily like offended, but they were just like, I don't know you. Yeah. So I really just don't trust you. Like, I don't, I see you up here, you're like talking about God and like preaching at me and talking about how good he is. And then when I see you on the platform, like I literally walk past you every Sunday and you just be like, okay. Like that, you lead these people in worship every Sunday. Like you cannot do that. There's relationship in that. If there's relationship in worship, if the basis of worship is our relationship with God and how we commune with him, what makes you think that leading others, that doesn't have anything to do with relationship?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You gotta build some type of rapport with people.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off the platform. It's good. With your team too.
That's good. I like it. I like it. Oh, yep. I'm gonna tell the team, look, I need you to talk to the people.
Yeah.
I need to go. You know, that's super random, so I mean, this has nothing to do with reading the room. Yes, but even when I do songwriting, a lot of my inspiration comes from like conversations with people. It's like, I'm going through this, I'm dealing with this, and it's just like, okay, what's a song that could kind of help elevate this moment? It's a song that can help change your perspective, or get your focus off of your situation back onto God.
Right.
Even though acknowledging what you're going through, but like, but again, that, like I said, it comes from those conversations, those interactions, that relationship that you build with the people that.
And that's good that you said that, because if Betty tells you before worship that she's just having a hard time with life, and she gives you some details that you didn't really ask for, but she's giving it.
Yeah.
It is not wise to go on the platform and then begin to express Betty's issues without directly saying they're Betty's issues. Mm-hmm. That's not why Betty told you. You take those in, and then, like you said, you figure out, okay, Lord, what are you saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Not like, let me give Betty a word of encouragement from the pulpit. That's not what we do. Like, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah. Don't talk about Betty.
Yeah, because Betty trusted you enough.
And don't try to rebuke Betty either.
And don't rebuke Betty. Oh my God. Please don't do that.
That's it.
Yeah. Reading the room is important.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. You need the relationship with the people, and you need the relationship with the Lord to know where you're going, and that will help you in spite of the physical appearance of the person. Yeah. And that one thing I talk to the team a lot, even more recently, is people have attachments with certain songs.
Yes.
So people respond to the song, and you think that they're actually responding to God.
It's emotional.
When it's
emotional
really like,
worship.
That's my jam. That's my. I've been listening to that song all week. That's my song right there.
But the congregation normally don't know that. They don't get it. Like most people don't get that. I have learned that most people do not realize that when they get hyped on a song, that's not really like. That's very surface. And I don't think they pick that up. And a lot of people don't get it. And I have come to terms with it. They won't. It is the worship team's position to give them a different outlook on it, on worship as a whole. Like, we can do your song, but listen to this. Yeah. Like, let's go this way. We're influencers. Yeah. In the season of influencers, we're influencers. Really.
So you're definitely teaching. There's moments where we can teach beyond what people think, what they know, what they're used to, what they're comfortable with.
Right.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, everybody doesn't have the skill. And it's something you always grow in. Like, I still grow in it. And people be like, wow, you've been leading worship this long, you're so good. Oh, there was a day. There was a day when and there still is times where I am, it's a little wonky, but you're growing. You're always growing. This is the point of it all.
Yes, let's grow. And we grow together.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Sounds good.
Reading.
All right. Read the room.
Reading rainbow.